Good morning, Erica. How are you doing?
Absolutely lovely. Today we are going to be speaking on hope. And it's I love talking about hope because it's such a dealer in so many currencies.
Wow, I love that. I love
hope
that.
is a dealer in so many currencies. Yeah,
for sure. Actually, that reminds me of a quote from Napoleon. I think he said a leader is a dealer in hope.
Yeah, a
A
lot of
leader
people.
is a dealer in hope. Yeah, so we're talking about hope. And I've realized that if you are convinced that there is not a chance of achieving something, you are probably not going to start acting on it. You are probably not going to start taking action. So the lack of hope can paralyze you. Unotadza kana kutanga kuita chimwe chinhu nekuti mupfungwa dzako you're already convinced it's not going to work. There isn't a chance. So I feel it's a timely topic because looking around, particularly this year, there have been so many changes where people had plans of what they were going to do, but those plans have been disrupted. I work a lot with the development world, with NGOs, with UN agencies, and we all know what has happened as a result of decisions that were made in the US by the current US administration. And this has resulted in, say, the closure of one of the biggest aid agencies in the world, and it has had a ripple effect that has led to people losing their jobs and other people having to maybe lower their positions in the organizations where they are working. And this relentless attack has led to people maybe having reduced levels of hope, or in some cases giving up hope completely. And for me, it's sad because when you give up hope, you die whilst you're still breathing. So let's talk about what hope is. To me, hope is a belief in a future positive outcome. And that is strengthened by action. I have to add that bit. So you believe in your mind that things will get better or things will improve. There's a future positive outcome. But that belief is strengthened when you're taking some action. So if all you have is a belief, optimistic, things will work out, I know things will work out, but you don't take any action, chances are you'll see the level of hope starting to go down because it needs that action to strengthen it. Hope is a mindset that better will come, but it is fueled by progress. So you're feeling, in my mind, I'm sure things will get better. Maybe you do what's called self-talk, where you are repeating certain words to yourself, like affirmations. And as you do this, you are programming your mind. But if this is not backed by progress, even small steps, you'll find that your hope starts to go down. It starts to wane. So it is of utmost importance that you start experiencing some progress, no matter how small. Any step you take forward adds a little bit more fuel to that hope that you have. Hope is a conviction that some aspect of my life will improve. So it goes beyond just a mere thought or a mere belief or just the mindset. A conviction, you are now convinced, you are saying this will definitely happen. And once again, that conviction starts with the mind, with your thinking, but it is strengthened by the actions you are taking, and it is fueled by the progress you are making. So hope is that fuel which energizes action. Effort rather, it energizes effort. When you've got hope, you have got that motivation, that push, that drive. Good, I can do something. I can take an action. I can move forward. And without that strength, that power to move forward, like I said, you get paralyzed.
I read something once that said, if you can imagine it, you can do it. So it's part of riding on the hope that you know that you can drive it.
It reminds me of R. Kelly. If I can see it, then I can do it. If I just believe. That's partly true, but not 100% true. Because definitely there are things you can imagine in your mind and you still can't do. So I like it. I largely agree with it because I like something that fuels your belief, and even if it's a lie, if it's something that'll get you to take action, it's better than the truth that paralyzes you. But taken, I think, to its extremes, you will just be living on a fairy tale, sort of things will happen. But if now it's strengthened by action, remember? And if it is fueled by progress, and from that action you're making progress, no matter how small, then it starts to take shape. it starts to move you towards your desired goal.
How important is it to have hope at all times? And maybe we could give maybe particular scenarios where some people just lose hope. I do know that after death, a death of a loved one, death of a loved one, people really lose hope. They don't know what tomorrow is like. Losing your job could be one of the situations that make you lose hope. I don't know if you want to add on.
Oh yeah, there are many other situations, but let me start with an experiment which will help us to see how important hope is. So this was a cruel experiment, and by modern day standards, it would not be an acceptable experiment. It was 1957 at the Johns Hopkins University, and there was a gentleman called Dr. Kurt Richter. He took rats, mice, let's be nice to them. He took mice and he dumped them into a jar of water, and he watched them struggle, before they drowned. And he found that the rats would live for about 1 to 15 minutes whilst they are struggling, right? So what he then did is he tried those that died he buried, obviously, or he threw them away, and he tried with another bunch of rats or mice. He put them in the water, and when they were just about to drown, he would take them out. Aimapurita, omapukuta, omarega, to regain their strength. You get what I'm saying? So he did this with the second batch of mice, and he found that second batch, when he put them back in the water, second time around, they struggled for much longer than they had done. Right. Some of them even went as far as
the same mice.
Yes, the same mice. No, actually, I think it's hours, not minutes. Some of them even struggled for like 60 hours.
That's
just
so morbid.
Staying up. I know it is morbid, but it demonstrates a point. That's why I said modern day, we wouldn't accept something like this. But it taught us an important lesson. And the conclusion was that because he had saved these rats just as they were about to drown the first time, they had developed hope. And when they were in the water for the second time, they just kept that hope that some hand will come from somewhere, fish us out of the water, and save us. So because of that, they were able to live maybe 4 times, 5 times longer than the average amount of time that the first batch of rats had survived. So what is the lesson here? When you have hope, you have motivation. Motivation is an inner force that compels action. When you have hope, you have strength. This is why hope is important. You have strength to carry on. When you have hope, you have resilience. You can withstand hardships, trials, and tribulations because in your mind you are convinced that there is that possibility, or rather that probability, that you will escape from this, you will go beyond this, you will survive this stage. So hope is important because it motivates us to take action. It gives us strength. It helps us develop resilience. Over and above that, I've actually witnessed this. You're talking about examples. I've seen people who give up on life, and once they kind of give up on life for whatever reason, maybe loss of a loved one, maybe loss of a job, maybe I don't know, something happened along the way that just interrupted the path that they had designed for their life. You find that they give up, and when they give up, it takes its toll on their health. It actually takes its toll on their health. There's a colleague, a client that I was coaching recently, and this client faced workplace bullying, had a toxic boss in the workplace, and it affected her confidence. It eroded it to such an extent that she developed high blood pressure, and she's now on medication, chronic. In addition to that, she even developed other health conditions that are associated with the stress she experienced, with the loss of confidence, with the loss of hope, with loss of self-belief. So you find that she developed, she started having anxiety attacks, really terrible anxiety attacks. So when you have hope, it works well for your health and well-being as well. And when you have hope, you have positive influence on other people. It is much easier for you to help an Erica over there, to support a Lewe over here, to be encouraging to anybody that you come across, because you have hope yourself. It's very difficult to give what you don't have. So that is why hope is important.
Let's talk about practical steps you can take right now to develop and increase hope. There's certain things I think the material you take in maybe on social media that can make you feel worse or better. It could be reading a Bible. I don't know, over to you.
Great. So here's the first thing we need to note. when we're talking about practical actions you can take, I think it's important to realize that hope exists in your mind. It is first and foremost a state of mind, which means two people can be in the same situation. One can view it as hopeful, the other one can view it as hopeless. So if you're listening to me right now and you're in a situation, in a stage in your life where you are saying things are hopeless, I once heard somebody saying the situation is hopeless and it's getting worse. And I was thinking, if it's already hopeless and it gets worse, is there any light at the end of that tunnel? So the point is this: even if your situation right now is hopeless, remember 50% of that hopelessness is about how you are framing it in your mind, how you are seeing it. If you're in a hopeless situation right now, let me get back to you, Erica. You're in a hopeless situation, right? And then something happens and you're told that, Erica, you are going to get $1 million by the 31st of January 2026. Do you know something that'll happen? Between now and January 2026, you are in a different state of mind. Your current immediate situation hasn't changed. What has changed is what's in your mind as you are anticipating, as you are planning, as you are feeling. So what I'm saying here is hope exists in your mind. It's a state of mind. And if you grasp that, then you'll know no matter what the circumstances are, you can still generate, you can develop some hope. So let me go into practical actions. Number one, bank of hope. You need to create a bank of hope. How do you do this? Write down your successes no matter how small. If things are working well, it's easier to write your successes because they are there. But a lot of times we don't value those successes, so we don't have this bank to go and draw from when things are going badly. If things are going badly, write down your small successes no matter how small they are, because as I said before, hope is a mindset of positivity that is fueled by progress. So when you note down the progress you are making, you are actually injecting a little bit more hope into yourself. So just writing down your successes is of extreme importance. Number two, feed your achievements and starve your failures. Where your energy goes is what will grow. If my energy goes into looking at how badly things are turning out for me, if I'm constantly talking about, focusing about, complaining about how bad things are, I am taking that energy and feeding my failures, and they'll grow fatter and bigger. But if I deliberately make an effort that I focus on what is working, on my achievements, on my successes, no matter how small, then I'm feeding my positivity. Where attention goes, energy flows and results show. If my attention is going towards what's working, you will find that my energy is flowing there and the results will show. So that's number two. Feed your achievements and starve your failures. Number three, accept your current reality without judging it. It's fine to say things are not working right now. I am frustrated. I am angry. I am disappointed. That is part of the processing, the healing, the taking charge of your situation. So accept your current reality. I found a lot of people who expend their energies into trying to justify or rationalize or explain away their situation. Accept the situation as it is, because you cannot solve a problem that you don't accept. If you're not accepting a problem, you're saying it's non-existent. So accept it. That is of critical importance, and it takes courage to do that. So be factual. Accept your situation. Accept your emotions. What you resist persists. So that is number three. Number four, set realistic expectations based on evidence. A lot of people face consistent, repeated failures because they are setting unrealistic expectations. One of the easiest ways to say, is this realistic, is to look at your past successes. If you have never done something, let's say you're looking at a goal of having $100,000 by the end of the year, and yet in your whole life, the highest amount you've ever held is $500, the highest you've ever saved is $1,000. Clearly, you're setting yourself up for failure. And as I said before, hope is fueled by progress. So if you set a realistic goal and you start registering progress, you find that your feelings of hope are increased. So set realistic expectations based on evidence. And whilst I say the past is not equal to the future, the past is a pretty good indication of what you can achieve in the short term. In the short term, what you've done before is a realistic indicator of what you're likely to achieve. So set realistic expectations. Number five, action therapy. Do what you can with what you have and take daily action steps forward towards your goal. Your hope is strengthened by the actions you take. If you just sit and pray and fast and dream and have affirmations, you are not going to get anywhere. Eventually, that hope you have will start to fade. But if there's that action therapy, you are accompanying that mindset development with practical actions, no matter how small. And you're going back to number one, you're accumulating a bank of hope. You are recording the successes you are making. You find that gradually, but steadily, your hope will increase. So that's number 5, action therapy. Take action, no matter how small the steps you can take. Number 6, encourage other people. Spread hope. Uplift someone. You find that when you are going around spreading that positivity, there's absolutely no way you will fail to feel positive yourself. I think the poorest person in the world, the person who is broke more than anybody else, is one who cannot even give hope to other people. And on this note, for members of the Success Family, I've given you a challenge. And your challenge is to encourage someone this week. You can go through the actions that people have posted in the group about what they're going to do this week. Go to the inbox of someone and share something unique, something relevant that encourages that person, that helps that person to just have the fuel to fire and to attack their goal. So encouraging other people, spreading hope, uplifting someone is number 6. And it is a practical action you can take right now that will start to increase your own hope as you raise other people's hope. Number 7, realize, understand your ultimate purpose. Now this one, oh my word, I would need more time to talk about this. But what I'm saying here, Erica, is that when you think about life, what is the purpose for life? Why are we here?
I ask myself that every
Ask yourself.
day.
So let me give you an answer. And this answer is verified by all the books of the world's religions. We are here on earth to develop spiritual qualities, period. We are here for a short period of time to prepare us for a life that I could call eternity. But whilst we are here, our aim is to prepare us spiritually, developing spiritual qualities, what we call virtues. That's ultimate. So when you look at yourself and you're hopeless because your material objectives have not been met, you haven't made the money you wanted, you don't stay in the house you want, you don't have the husband or the wife you want, remember, all that is transitory, it's transient, it's but for a short period only. So I don't want to go preachy, but this is very important. This is spirituality, it's not even religion. And when we realize that we are spiritual beings undergoing a physical existence, then most of what we care about will cease to matter. But anyway, before we close, last one is environment. Stay in an environment that is uplifting, that is positive, and that helps you release the best in you. And for that, I highly recommend joining the Success Family. It's a WhatsApp group that you can join for free, where we've got like-minded people who are pursuing their goals. And you can do so, you can join by sending the word
I'm 30. I've had enough of this life. You're telling me I'm going to do it again.
No. You have heard of the concept of heaven and hell?
Yes, which means we must go through something again. That's where you lost me. But
I think it's vastly different. All I'm saying is there are qualities we need to develop here. And whether you read the Bible or you read any other religious books, you hear that we talk about do unto others you like them to do unto you. Be patient, be kind, be generous. Why are we doing those things when they can be a disadvantage right here on earth? Because we are developing the spiritual qualities that we need for the hereafter.
thank you so much. You're going to catch up with the news right after this.
Zimpaper's Broadcasting Division presents the second edition of The Battle of the Brands on the 25th of October at Prince Edward High School. Get ready as top companies from across the nation go head-to-head, not in the boardroom, but on the field. Expect thrilling soccer showdowns, netball action, and exciting pool contests, all in the spirit of teamwork, wellness, and glory. Don't miss the fun, the rivalry, and the celebration of wellness in our workplaces. The Battle of the Brands, where champions are made and brands shine. For partnership and participation, contact Shingi Kanongo on 077 89201 or Rumbinderere on 0771 519217 now.
Attention Zimbabwe! The Cancer Power Walk 2025 is here, bringing communities together to raise awareness, honor survivors, and support the fight against cancer. Join us Saturday, 1 November 2025. The walk kicks off at 5:30 a.m. sharp. Whether you're walking in memory of a loved one, celebrating survival, or simply standing up for health, your step makes a difference. Registration is just $10 per person, and every dollar goes towards cancer awareness, screenings, and patient support. Come with your friends, family, or your workmates, and let's do this. Together, we can make cancer awareness louder than ever before. The Cancer Power Walk 2025. Step up, speak out, save lives. Register today at all Zimpapers offices in Harare, Bulawayo, Gweru, Mutare, Mashingo, and Chinoi, or call on 0772 331 156. See you at the starting line.
And it's 10 o'clock on Star FM. It's time for the news.
This is Zimpapers Radio Broadcasting News.
Good morning, I'm Tabegi Lesbanda. Government is working on establishing a crop purchase buffer fund to ensure farmers are paid on delivery for different crops at grain marketing board depots. Responding to questions during a post-cabinet media briefing in Harare yesterday, Lands, Agriculture, Fisheries, Water and Rural Development Minister Dr. Anxious Masuka said the move is an alternative to funds released by Treasury.
The plan that we are putting in place as an alternative to complement the fiscus, the establishment of a crop purchase buffer fund. The crop purchase buffer fund would be resourced